Okay, I just wanted to let you know that I'm working on a Honda Fit again, 2017. I'm gonna change the transmission pan basically. Where is that? Somewhere there. To get the solenoid D. See, why is it flashing? Previously I told you that the cables are broken. So these are the cables. It's got a broken cable there. So I changed that already and put some oil. But still the D light is flashing, and I got a code 2721, which means a valve open, solenoid valve D is open or high pressure. So we're going to see what's going on. I'm going to show you. First we're going to drain the oil. I hope you guys can see it, what we are doing. Alright, first we're going to have to drain the oil. So there's a little drain plug on the side. We're going to open that. Alright, there it is. We're going to drain the fluid. There's about 3.5 liters of CVT tranny fluid in there. Quite costly, so you don't want to waste it. You want to save up as much as you can, because it's like 20 bucks per liter. All right, let's see if we can bring that closer. There it is. Gonna get some light while it's draining. Take about a couple of minutes, it's going to drain. Then I'll show you how to remove the transmission pan and the complete guts inside. It's quite simple, but time consuming, about a couple of hours maybe less if you know what you're doing. I've opened it once already, so I know what to do. Okay, always make sure you secure the jack where you're working. All right. It's gonna drain. Close the drain plug again. It's temporary. There's gonna be a bit of oil there still. Just snug it. It's fine. You have to start unscrewing all these, about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19 or 20 screws. That's the most time you're going to put into unscrewing them. So once again, we're working on a 2017 Honda Fit with a CVT transmission. The cables were broken. Got a new set of cables from Honda, but now we're just getting a light says that the drive's not functioning well. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna find out soon. It's gonna take a while, it looks like. First time I took off was really fast. We'll use this guy. No worries. So make sure you have your oil pan underneath, because you're gonna have a little bit more oil inside the pan again. It's gonna drip like crazy, but you got it under control, then no worries. It's all good. Some of the bolts are long, some of them are short, but I don't think you're gonna have a problem with it, because obviously the long one's not gonna go in the short spot, because you'll be left over with a little bit of thread. So it's not rocket scientist, so you don't have to worry. There's about 10 of them short or long, or 12, 13 long, and just the 2-3 of them short. Shouldn't be a problem. See the difference? That's the long and that's the short. You see that? You can't tell too much, but it should be okay. I'm sure you can figure that out. As you can tell, it's dripping a little bit of oil again, so make sure your stuff's underneath. So all this is just for educational purpose. I'm not a mechanic. I mean, I am, but not a super mechanic. It's just I want to figure things out myself before I hand it over to the experts. You know what I'm saying, right? So if you come across anything like this, you need to make an educational guess. Don't depend on this video alone. Okay, I'm going to the last screw, and then it's going to get a little bit messy. All right. Just need a small flat to just pry out a little bit. I'm doing it slowly so I don't damage my, just lost the toggle there, but it's not a problem. So that's your pan there, okay? There's not much to it. Just gonna put this aside. Alright, the gasket's still good. Alright. So first, we're gonna remove the oil filter, which I already changed. Put a brand new one there. They're kind of expensive, so you don't want to damage them, especially the gaskets and all that stuff. They're reusable, but you gotta know what you're doing before you break it. There's gonna be some oil in there too, so just be careful not to drip too much. It's 1 cube. Held up with an O-ring, so you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to come down until you actually pull it, or better yet, just use some kind of a screwdriver, flat screwdriver, and just drop it down slowly. There's a lot of oil in it, as you can see. Just drain the oil, leave it in the pan, and let the oil go down as much as it can at its own pace. No worries. So I'm going to give you a closer look up to what I'm talking about inside and what happened and what I did. Let me wipe my hands a little bit. Alright, so this cabling was replaced, okay, because we had a kink, we had a broken piece, we had all sorts of damages after the car was hit underneath. So you can tell the green cable is broken. I don't know if you can see it or not, but see, it's all badly damaged. So what I did is I already changed the cables. I don't know if you can see it or not. Those cables are all brand new. So this entire thing has to come down. I've taken it down once already. I'm going to do it again. So you have to take it down to change the cables. Otherwise it's not an easy thing to do. So as you can tell, this is 2017 Honda Fit. Brand new. Alright, let's put it down again. I'm going to show you how to take that off. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, but it's doable. You don't have to be a genius to do this stuff. You just have to know what you're doing. Plain and simple. So So this thing's held up with about 6 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. It might be 7, I'm not sure, but I think it's 6. All right, so let's start. All right, I'm actually gonna need a little bit of more room here in case this oil filter gets, or we just leave it there, or we'll put it in the pan just to be secure, and we'll remove the pan so we don't have to worry about it getting crushed or anything. Okay. All right, so now let's open up that whole piece. Okay, it's held up pretty tight, so let's go open one by one. You want to separate these bolts from the ones actually you've opened up for the pan, because they've got a different length, so you don't want to mix them up too much. All right, that's one. Two. Just to give you a little bit of history, I think previous models of Hondas, most of their solenoids were outside. But with the CVT transmissions, they've started putting the solenoids inside. So if anything goes wrong, then you gotta remove everything just to get to it. That's the bad part. But before, you used to just get it from outside and slap on another one, and then you were done. Bada bing, bada boom. So when you open this, you're gonna have more oil coming down. So these are the last 4. There's the stuff is held up with O-rings and washers, so it's not gonna just drop. You probably need to pry it down so it can pop right down. The main cable goes all the way to the top and attaches to the transmission plug, but you can unhook it from inside also. Okay, so the entire thing is loose right now. All you have to do is just pry it and it'll pop right out of its place. You're just gonna let it drip a little bit of oil. So by the way, these are all number 10s. That's all you need. Number 10 socket. Just drop everything down. There's not much tools you need for this kind of job. There's a drain plug here, and once you're done, you need to refill from here. Of course, you're going to put a funnel from on top and a pipe. There is no dipstick, so you have to do a good calculation. If you're taking completely apart, then it's about 5.5 liters. But if you're just doing a transmission oil change, then it's about 3.5 liters. So once we drop this entire mechanism, this whole thing, these cables are attached to the top with a number 10, but we're not gonna do the number 10. We're just gonna try and or maybe we should, because it's kind of hard to get at. So I'm gonna go from here unhook the cable, the transmission cable, and then I'll bring it down the whole thing and you will see it. You need magic hands for this thing. There's a clip you just push. I think we have to do it with this hand. There, it's off. So there's a couple of big washers right there. Two of them, you can see one here, one in the back. There's a couple of small ones there too. So when it's out, I can show you what it is, what I mean. So I'm gonna get my wrench ready so we can take the whole thing off. It's easier to bring it down like this rather than trying to unhook it from the cable from right inside, because it's, you need quite a bit of skills to do that. The place is too tight. So what you need to do is just grab this so you don't drop it, and just pry a little bit out of its place. You can tell it's moving, you see? So you're just gonna open it slowly. You see, the whole thing came out. There's a couple there, and of course there's a couple on this side. Small ones. Alright, so I don't know how that cable came all the way out. So as you can see, that's the whole thing. Those are the solenoids. So we'll let this drip a little bit. Those are the solenoids, you see? It's kind of heavy. So I'm just gonna put it aside here somewhere. Where's that rack? And then we can videotape it better. Okay, so now that is out. It's gonna give you a quick glance inside what it looks like. Just don't want any oil to go in there. As you can see, that's all there is. These are the stuff that is holding it in, these washers. These 2, 3, 4, and there's a plug right there. That's going into your transmission. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, that's the plug. Okay, so now that we've removed all this, let's see what we can do with this guy. This is the stuff. So these are the solenoids. 1, 2, 3, 4, And I think there's one in the back, 5. Oh, there's my problem. My cable got crimped when I put it on. You see? Brand new cable. This is why my light was flashing. So I got these cables on, everything new, and next thing you know, after I mounted it, the damn thing broke. I thought it was a successful project. There goes $100. So these cables are kind of expensive, and that's the cable that goes all the way up. So I'm gonna order one cable again and change it. So that's the entire, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's pretty simple. You just press and unlock these two, just pop out. This one just pops right out, pops out, and there you go. There's bolts here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That brings the whole thing down. Okay, it's not a big project, but it's kind of messy because you're working with oil. So I don't know how on earth did I break this. I thought I had it done inside nice and correct, but apparently it was in there and it broke. That's a shame. Brand new cable. I just put it today. So it's best to get a new one because you can't solder these. If you solder, it's gonna be crap. It's gonna open up. So for $100, just go ahead and do it. Alright, so this is how you remove the inside of a 2017 Honda Fit transmission. Alright, adios amigos.